wisdom of 101 famous poems. Spoken and with commentary by E.T. Hansen. The Happy Warrior by William Wordsworth. Who is the happy warrior? Who is he that every man in arms should wish to be? It is the generous spirit, who, when brought among the tasks of real life, hath wrought upon the plan that pleased his boyish thought, whose high endeavors are an inward light that makes the path before him always bright, who, with a natural instinct to discern what knowledge can perform, is diligent to learn, abides by this resolve, and stops not there, but makes his moral being his prime care, who, doomed to go in company with pain and fear and bloodshed, miserable train, turns his necessity to glorious gain. In face of these, doth exercise a power which is our human nature's highest dower, controls them and subdues, transmutes, bereaves of their bad influence, and their good receives. By objects which might force the soul to abate her feeling, rendered more compassionate, is placable because occasions rise so often that demand such sacrifice, more skillful in self-knowledge, even more pure, as tempted more able to endure, as more exposed to suffering and distress, thence also more alive to tenderness. 'Tis he whose law is reason, who depends upon that law as on the best of friends. Whence, in a state where men are tempted still to evil, for a guard against worse ill, and what in quality or act is best doth seldom on a right foundation rest, he labors good on good to fix, and owes to virtue every triumph that he knows. Who, if he rise to station of command, rises by open means, and there will stand on honorable terms, or else retire, and in himself possess his own desire, who comprehends his trust, and to the same keeps faithful with a singleness of aim, and therefore does not stoop, nor lie in wait for wealth or honors, or for worldly state, whom they must follow, on whose head must fall like showers of manna, if they come at all, whose powers shed round him in the common strife, or mild concerns of ordinary life, a constant influence, a peculiar grace, but who, if he be called upon to face some awful moment, to which heaven has joined great issues, good or bad, for humankind, is happy as a lover, and attired with sudden brightness, like a man inspired, and through the heat of conflict keeps the law in calmness made, and sees what he foresaw, or if an unexpected call succeed, come when it will, is equal to the need. He who, though thus endued as with a sense and faculty for storm and turbulence, is yet a soul whose master bias leans to home-felt pleasures and to gentle scenes, sweet images which, wheresoe'er he be, are at his heart, and such fidelity it is his darling passion to approve. More brave for this that he hath much to love. 'Tis finally the man who lifted high, conspicuous object in a nation's eye, or left unthought of in obscurity, who, with a toward or untoward lot, prosperous or adverse, to his wish or not. Plays in the many games of life that one where what he most doth value must be won, whom neither shape of danger can dismay, nor thought of tender happiness betray, who, not content with former worth, stand fast, looks forward, persevering to the last, from well to better, daily self-surpassed, who, whether praise of him, must walk the earth forever, and to noble deeds give birth, or he must fall to sleep without his fame, and leave a dead, unprofitable name, finds comfort in himself and in his cause, and while the mortal mist is gathering, draws his breath in confidence of heaven's applause. This is the happy warrior. This is he that every man in arms should wish to be. How to be a hero. Heroes have gone out of fashion. Today we're obsessed with the oppressed, and we romanticize them. In our minds, the outsider, the minority, the underdog is always good, always right, always on the moral end of any argument, unimpeachable. We make it very attractive to be the victim nowadays. I think the reason we romanticize the victim is that it makes us feel good. When we publicly side with the underdog of any kind, in dinner party discussions, in social media posts, in the choice of books and news media we consume, it doesn't actually do much for the underdog, but it makes us feel like we are fighting on the right side, actively making the world a better place, saving the victim from the very victimhood we have assigned them to. For once in our lives, we feel like, well, like a hero, like the very hero we no longer worship. As a young boy, like all young boys, I dreamed of being a hero. I envisioned myself rushing into the street and sweeping up the playing child just before the out-of-control truck bore down upon him. I imagined standing up to the bully threatening the four-eyed bookworm out behind the gym. I saw myself saving the woman being beaten by her man. In my mind, I even got elected to public office and pushed through simple, common-sense laws that ended war, poverty, and injustice forever. When you're a kid, it's easy to imagine yourself doing all the things no one else in the history of mankind has ever been able to do. But as you grow, you learn that it takes all you have just to survive. We all face more hurdles than privileges, more problems than solutions, more embarrassing shortcomings than amazing talents. We are born small and helpless, and we have to fight just to get our parents' love, to win or avoid quarrels on the playground, to learn a skill and get a job and compete, to support a family and try to make them happy while striving at the same time to somehow be happy ourselves. It takes so much just to live, it seems unfair to expect us to perform some great heroic deed on top of all that. What does it take to be a hero, anyway? Is it a willingness to take great risks, like Kennedy staring down Khrushchev in the Cuban Missile Crisis? Is it sheer determination and focus, like Neil Armstrong setting foot on the moon? Is it the brilliance of an Elon Musk changing the world with ideas? Or is it something else? When I ask myself what it takes to be a hero in day-to-day life, I don't think of the winners, of the rich and famous, though I do admire them. I think of the men and women who have the strength to get up when they fall, to keep going when the going gets tough, to tell the truth even when it makes them look bad. I do not think of men and women who are applauded and worshipped for being successful or simply famous. I think of those men and women who have a strong and clear moral code that cannot be compromised by passions, trends, or temptations, and who will not hide away in times of crisis. I don't think of the loudest voices in the media preaching at us about all the things we're doing wrong. I think of the few men and women out there who are courageous enough to recognize and accept the hard, disappointing facts of who we are and how the world works, and still live right. I admire those rare individuals who, in public discourse, question the common consensus and stand up for what they believe against the chorus of their friends and family, as courageously as Kennedy facing Khrushchev. I admire the men and women who remain undistracted as they walk their path to its end, like Armstrong did when he climbed down that ladder. I admire those who study the puzzle, the paradox, the conundrum of their own lives until they come up with a solution, like Elon Musk did when he looked at the problems of the internet or private space flight. The world will always have victims, and all of us at one time or other in our lives will be one. We will never completely abolish poverty, racism, or inequality. We will never find the formula to make all men and women love each other as they should be loved. We will never be completely happy and content. But there are things we can do. We can look ourselves in the mirror and not flinch, like Kennedy staring down Khrushchev. We can fulfill our responsibilities with the dedication and determination of a Neil Armstrong. We can approach the ever-changing challenges of life and love with the flexibility and ingenuity of an Elon Musk. We can each of us live our private lives like a hero would on those days when he or she is not out saving the world, but is at home, saving their own lives and the lives of those they love.